people identified themselves and spoke loudly so that he can get the message.
And try not to stand in front of the stenographer also.
Okay. My name
That's on the record.
is Professor Yedidia Langsam. I'm the chair of the New York City Regional EMS Council. I'd like to call to order the meeting of November 19th, 2019. The first item is the roll call vote to determine a quorum. All right?
Please answer when your name is called. Dove Jacob.
Present.
Grace Cacciola.
Present.
Christine Mazzola.
Present.
Samia McEachin. Allison Burke. Dominic Battinelli.
Present.
Joseph Marcelino.
Present.
Danny Mizels.
Present.
Ari Weiss. Lillian Bonsignor. Bradley Kaufman. William Goffin.
Here.
Mordecai Goldfeder.
Present.
Robert Bristol. Daniel Rodriguez. John Johnstone.
Present.
Travis Kessel.
Here.
James Downey.
Present.
Jerry Gelbard.
Present.
David Mikatansky.
Here.
Eventually I'll get you there. Joseph Schenker.
Here.
David Benelli. Scott Orlansky.
Here.
Mordecai Lax.
Present.
Martina Baccarella.
Present.
Vincent Barranco. Nancy Benedetto.
Present.
Arthur Cooper. Robert Krupe.
Present.
Megan Farley.
Here.
Manfred Fuse.
Here.
Sean Graves.
Here.
Jerry Gumbo.
Here.
Yedidia Langsam.
Present.
Brian Levinsky. Dennis Laurie.
Present.
Mitchell Powell.
Present.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Thank you. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the September 17th, 2019 meeting minutes. These have been distributed ahead of time. I'm sure everyone's done their homework and has read these line by line. Are there any comments, corrections, deletions, additions? Hearing none, a motion to approve is in order.
Sean Grace, motion to approve.
A second. Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved. The minutes are unanimously approved. Thank you. Before we begin, I just want to clarify. As the chair, according to Robert's Rules of Order, I am not supposed to offer any opinion on any matter that is being debated here. And so I will not give my opinions. My role here is simply to make sure that we follow parliamentary procedure and that we follow all the rules as set forth by both the state and our own rules, as well as Robert's Rule of Order. So I will not be offering an opinion on any item that comes before us. The next item on the agenda is the correspondence report. Marie.
Yes, sir. The offices of the council received the following correspondence. Nothing new for membership. Fire Department PCR monthly inventory control report for September. Non-compliant PCR form report for September. First quarter program agency report. From New York State Department of Health, letter stating no barriers to competency and fitness for Ezra's Nashim. Letter stating no barriers to competency and fitness for Ambulance New York 3. Letter to Captain Greg Brady, Fire Department, congratulating him on being awarded the State Vital Signs 2019 EMS Agency Innovation Award for clinical delivery. A survey that is going to be emailed to EMS agencies by the Department of Health to collect salary information for EMS providers. Post-public hearing correspondence from the public. 54 letters supporting Ezra's Nashim application. Phone calls, letter from New York State Assemblywoman Nili Rozic supporting Ezra's Nashim. Information to clarify the Ezra's Nashim application as requested from the Ambulance Committee at the public hearing, which included clarified insurance information and clearer map of proposed territory. Letter from Karen Taddeo, Shannon, and Reisner objecting to alleged improper supplementation of Evers Nashim CON application. Application for transfer of operating authority from Taddeo, Shannon, and Reisner for Ambulance New York 3. The offices of the council sent out the following correspondence, agendas, minutes, and associated attachments for this meeting. First quarter program agency report to New York State DOH. Second quarter regional council report to New York State DOH. An affidavit was sent in regarding uniform requirements. Following communications were issued with regards to the Estros Nashim CON application. Public hearing notice, associated information mailed, emailed, and posted on REMSCO webpage and published in the New York Times. That's it.
Are there any questions for Marie regarding the correspondence report? Hearing none. By your leave, we will rearrange the agenda, unless someone objects, so that all standing committees will deal with after the two major items on the agenda. Hearing no objection to that, I will ask the ambulance committee to make their report regarding number one.
The ambulance committee met immediately prior to the REMSCO meeting this evening at 5 p.m. We reviewed the correspondence report. We also reviewed the ambulance committee tag reports. We're still awaiting information on the mapping project. There was no unfinished business, and there is no new business. On the review of the new applications for the determination of public need, there were two pieces of two determinations. The very first was review of the new application for the transfer of operating authority on the vote of Ambulance New York 3 LLC, number 0668, 5-county licensure, transfer to Ambulance-FMC North America LLC. Upon further discussion with the ambulance committee, the ambulance committee has made a recommendation to approve.
You bringing forth a seconded motion? Say that.
So we're going to bring forth a second motion to approve now by REMSCO.
Okay, being that we have a seconded motion, it requires no new action here, other than to open it to discussion. I'm going to ask Marie to please read the motion that we're going to discuss.
The Ambulance Committee of the Regional Emergency Medical Services Council of New York City finds, based upon the receipt of a complete application for transfer of operating authority of Ambulance Holding LLC, also known as Ambulance New York 3 LLC, DOH number 0668, to Ambulance FMC North America LLC, DBA Ambulance New York 3 LLC, and a review of competency and fitness having been conducted by the Regional Emergency Medical Services Council of New York City and the New York State Department of Health, and that review having revealed no issues challenging competency and fitness, recommends that approval of the transfer of operating authority with operating authority within the 5 counties of New York City be granted.
And the motion that we will be voting on here is the same motion with the words "the REMSCO," okay, based upon everything. So we'll have the word REMSCO substituted for this motion. Do I hear any discussion on this motion? The discussion becomes part of the public record and gets included, so it would be good to have some discussion.
The lawyers are here if anyone wants to ask any questions.
Okay, hearing no discussion, we will move to a vote on this motion that we just read. Does anybody want to hear it again?
Nope.
Roll call.
Okay. So please answer in favor, against, or abstain.
Okay, let me say one.
Yes, sir.
Actually, if anyone has a conflict of interest as defined by 0606 as a pecuniary, big word, financial interest in a competing service, and those who serve as an officer of an organization deemed to be in direct competition with the applicant should recuse themselves. Is there anyone here who needs to recuse themselves? Hearing none. Is there anyone sitting around the table who feels that someone should have recused themselves? Hearing none, we will now move to the vote.
I'm supposed to read this, want me to hold this for the CON? This is conflict of interest when the
It's the
Department of
same,
Health.
so is this. It's the same word. Don't read it. Just don't worry about it.
Give me that.
I'm gonna read it.
Okay, in favor, against, or abstain? Dov Jacob,
In favor.
Samia McEachin, Dominic Batinelli,
In favor.
Grace Cacciola,
Abstain.
Christine Mazzola,
Abstain.
Joseph Marcelino,
In favor.
John Johnstone,
In favor.
Mordecai Goldfeder,
Abstain.
Travis Kessel,
In favor.
Gary Gelgard,
In favor.
Joseph Schenker,
Abstain.
Scott Orlansky,
In favor.
Mordecai Lax,
In favor.
Martina Baccarella,
In favor.
Vincent Branco, Nancy Benedetto,
In favor.
Arthur Cooper, Robert Krupe,
In favor.
Megan Farley,
In favor.
Manfred Fuchs,
In favor.
Sean Graves,
In favor.
Jerry Gumbo,
In favor.
Yadidja Langsom,
Approve.
Dennis Laurie,
In favor.
Brian Levinsky,
In favor.
Mitchell Powell.
In favor.
Motion carries. And we'll send it around. Your signatures.
Failed. Okay, did you have the vote?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Carries.
Okay, continue.
For the second review of the new application for determination of public need for new ambulance for Ezra Nasham. The ambulance committee met and it failed. The motion failed.
Okay, at this point, it's appropriate for someone to make the motion, and then I'll ask for a second. And the motion is to approve the determination of public need for a new ambulance, Chasdei Devora Inc., doing business as Ezra Nashim, and we'll read the full motion later on, but someone should make this motion.
So moved.
Okay, we have Nancy moved. Do we have a second?
Brian Levinsky,
We
second.
have a second. Thank you. We now, sorry.
Didn't mean to frighten you.
On television yet. Okay, we now move to a discussion. Now, before we start the discussion, recalling that I am not going to offer my opinion on this, I want to read the relevant paragraphs from 0606, which is the current regulation by which all CONs are processed in New York State. Opportunity shall be provided for REMSCO members, so all of you sitting around the table, to make inquiry and ask questions prior to making a determination. You are allowed to ask questions, not only among yourselves, but of anyone. As the application and the public hearing constitute the appropriate forum to introduce and provide new information, this is not an opportunity for either REMSCO members or non-REMSCO members to introduce, provide new information. Okay, you cannot introduce anything that has not been already produced. Should I, in my judgment, hear someone doing that, I will put a stop for it on the record, because that will invalidate the proceedings. The applicant could have amended the application so long as it occurs prior to the public hearing, so we are now stuck with what we have. Okay, now, she has here the public officers law, and I have 0606, which essentially says the same thing, and I'm going to read 0606. And it says, members who have a pecuniary financial interest in a competing service, and those who serve as an officer in an organization deemed to be in direct competition with the applicant, should recuse themselves. Does everyone understand that? It means if you make money, or you're on a board of directors of a corporation that might be affected by this, then you should recuse yourself. If you're just a volunteer, or you're a paid employee, etc., 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 you have a duty as a member of REMSCO not to recuse yourself and to vote. Having said that, is there anyone around this table who wishes to recuse themselves for cause? Hearing none. Is there anyone sitting around this table who feels that someone should have recused themselves? For the record, we have heard no objections and we will proceed. Finally, the REMSCO shall make its determination by a roll call ballot of the members present to accept or reject the recommendation of the committee. That means the ambulance committee. They came with no recommendation. Therefore, we are going to be recommending the motion that was just made or not recommending it. Now, the motion must be made in the form of an approval, which is what we did. Nancy made a motion to approve. It is improper for someone to make a motion to disapprove. So we have a motion on the floor for discussion to approve. Based on the Department's Bureau of House Counsel opinion, in Appendix 3, which I will not read to you because it's very long, in order to make a determination, it must be passed by not less than a majority of the entire members authorized to vote, not those members present for the meeting. Let me explain that because that is an odd thing. In many committees, you get a quorum, the majority committee votes, and that's done. Okay, the open meeting law and the general construction law of New York State explicitly state that in any body that makes a public determination, such as we do, you must have a positive approval of the majority of the members, whether they are here or not. To be clear, there are 26 members of REMSCO. To approve, we need 26 divided by 2 plus 1, which is 14 yes votes. Abstentions do not count as a yes vote. So essentially, an abstention is a no vote. No votes, of course, are no votes. So we need to have, to prove this, what did you say? 14 yes votes. It's been a very long day. Okay, are there any questions about what I've just said? Now, just that people should know, what will happen is we will have, I assume, a rather long discussion, and then we will have a roll call vote, and then you will sign your name. Again, according to the open meetings law, there's no such thing as a private ballot. You've lost that right, unlike when you elect the president, where it's secret. There are no such things as secret ballots in the open meeting law, so your name goes down forever for the public record. After that, you will sign the ballot to confirm how you have voted, and then we will forward the REMSCO decision to New York State. New York State can accept it, or they can not accept it. Each party, or any party, anyone in the street, doesn't have to be someone here, is allowed to appeal to the REMSCO. When and if that happens, and I say when because I'm pretty sure that there's going to be an appeal one way or the other, what happens is it is sent to an administrative law judge. About a year from now, because they're very slow, the administrative law judge will offer an opinion, much like the hearing officer offers an opinion. It then comes before the REMSCO's, State Emergency Medical Systems Council, Systems Committee, which is like their ambulance committee, where, once again, it is discussed under the same guidelines that we've just done. They vote. Later in that same afternoon, it goes before the entire REMSCO. And the REMSCO votes. They could vote to overturn the REMSCO's decision, or they could vote to affirm the REMSCO's decision. They have no other choice. That gets written to the public record. All the lawyers among you know that nothing stops there, because you can then go to court for what's called an Article 78 proceeding, and this will be 5 more years later, and the lawyers will make a lot of money. Okay, so that's the procedure, so everyone knows what's happening. I know it's very complicated, and this happens throughout the state, and it happens all the time. So let's move on. Okay. Any questions about anything that I've said? Hearing none. Discussions, pro and con. Please make it clear so that it can become part of the record. Somebody's got to be first.
Dove Jacob. Okay, so according to the policy statements. Dove Jacob. So according to the policy statement 606, which is public need, there are 8 variables that need to be met by Ezra's Nashim. First one will be geography, which basically geographic, that they have the best, that they have a response. Now Hatzalah has the best response in that area. Next one will be population, size, density, and projections. Hatzalah right now is serving that area for decades and will go on and continue to serve that area. Level of care, they're requesting a BLS. Right now Hatzalah is operating an ALS, so proving that will be a step down from what already exists. Quality, reliability, and response pattern of existing services. Hatzalah is known for the best response team, best response time out there.
Excuse me, Doug, can you speak up, please?
I apologize. Where would you like me to stop from again?
No, keep going. Start over.
Okay.
Just keep going.
Type of service, emergency and non-emergency. Hatzalah provides both emergency and non-emergency. Special need, there was no claim of special need. Service effectiveness, cost, and operation. Hatzalah's existing service is one of the most effective in the country. Other local factors, there are none besides for a misrepresentation of religion. It still does not establish a need, even if, yes, they still have 7 previous variables that still have not been met. Simply put, there is a lack of resource, and they should be denied, as Hatzalah right now has been caring for this community for decades. And they will continue to serve them for decades. Thank you for your time.
Nancy.
Nancy Benedetto. With all due respect, Sheriff certainly has provided wonderful service to our EMS community. That's not the issue, and that's not what we're debating here this evening. What we are looking at this evening is there is a lack of evidence that existing resources will be reallocated to fulfill the maintaining modesty for observant Jewish women. That is a key piece here. Secondly, we are looking at special needs. There's a listing of 8 or whatever number of 0606 qualifications. One of them is level of care. Level of care at the BLS level certainly is an appropriate level of care. It is not that it is the best, it is the beginning part of what this application is looking and seeking for. Special needs is an item that needs to be addressed, and that is exactly what is being sought with this application, that there would be maintaining modesty for observant Jewish women. We are looking, that is a special need. So I'm asking people to look at it from that perspective. There you go.
Thank you. Further comments? Dr. Schenker.
Joseph Schenker. So I'm looking right now at the report from the hearing officer, and I just have one question about his summary comments and recommendation. He states, "Yet we have the equally undeniable fact that perhaps 60% of women-involved emergency medical needs are either being not met or being met to some degree in contravention of their cultural, religious concerns." That sounds like a fact that was proven somewhere. I'm just curious where that number comes from, because I don't know that it's undeniable or deniable at all. I don't know where this information comes from. So it reads as if that is the rule, and I don't know where that rule comes from. So my only point is that I don't know how you make a statement like that.
Anything else?
That's it.
Scott? Oh, I'm sorry. Let him speak.
Just, Travis Kessel, quick point of clarification. The opinion from the ambulance committee chairperson is an opinion, it's not a binding anything, so it was an opinion, therefore didn't need to be completely factual in all of its presentation.
I'm not sure what you're asking.
The opinion that was just quoted, and
The
it was the
hearing
hearing officer's
It's
opinion.
an opinion.
It's an opinion, so therefore, like, that being included is part of the opinion.
It's an opinion.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Well, you have an opinion that something is an undeniable fact is not appropriate.
Okay?
So 100% maybe.
Correct.
Scott?
Yes. Good evening. Scott Orlansky. Hello again. Just as a point of clarification, so that there's no unneeded animosity, I represent the United New York Ambulance Network, which is the commercial services ambulance in the state of New York. So Nancy, I agree with you 1,000%. This application is not about Hatzalah at all. But yet, the applicant has made it about Hatzalah. You read the hearing officer's report, you read the transcript, Hatzalah this, Hatzalah that. I could care less. This has nothing to do with Hatzalah. This has to do with Ezras Nashim and their proving need. There are 8 variables, as we've all heard ad nauseum, so I will not repeat them. But the variables and the requirements set forth by 0606 were not met. They may want to be met. There may be a desire to meet them, as it has been stated in the application submitted by Ezras Nashim, but we are not here to debate wishes, wants, or desires. We're here to discuss and to opine and to vote upon 0606 as a policy. And only those 8 variables. Religion is not one of those variables, and I submit to my fellow members of the council that should we tread into those dangerous, murky waters, we will be in a world of hurt. Also, regarding the hearing officer's opinion, recommendation, whatever it might be, we've had this hearing officer before. He's gotten us as a council into trouble before, where he suggests that we don't have to follow 0606. We reinterpret 0606, even though 06 has been interpreted and reinterpreted the same way for decades. This is not about any other organization. This is about the facts that were presented, not even about the emotion and everything that was bandied about at the hearing. And if we do not like 0606, as I have said many times before, then we should change it. Legislate change if that's what you want. But right now, this is the only document. Only those 8 variables can be considered, not religion, not culture, not any of the other things that were mentioned. We have a duty to follow 0606 as it has been done, as it has been mentioned, and as the policy statement states.
Thank you. Nancy?
Thank you. To be clear, nowhere in 0606 does it identify one must meet all 8 of those components. Therefore, it is not necessary for 8 of those to be met. One, and that would be special needs, could qualify as a very important factor in terms of meeting this application.
However, special needs was not addressed by the applicant in their application.
Okay, please address all comments to the
apologize.
chair